In this video, we're going to take a look at solving inequalities. So to solve inequalities, we use the same method as we do for solving equations. So let's say that we want to solve here. Let's just have a look, a quick example. Let's say we want to solve 5x minus 3 is less than 17. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to also write the respective equation like this. So solve 5x minus 3 is equal to 17. Okay. So for solving equations, what we do here is we balance the equation. The first thing that I do here would be to add 3. We want to get rid of this minus 3 here. We'd add 3 to both sides, like so. And we do the exact same here for this inequality. So I'm now going to add 3 to both sides here, like so. So in that case then for the equation here, we'd get 5x on its own. And then 17 plus 3, that would give us 20. And we do the same here for the inequality. So this minus 3 and this plus 3, that would just give us 0. So we get 5x here on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side here of this inequality, 17 plus 3, that would give us 20. So going back to the equation now, we've got 5x here is equal to 20. So we just want x, remember, that's what we're looking for. So we need to get rid of this 5 here in front. So if we think about balancing this equation here, what I'm doing is I'm taking x, I'm timesing it by 5. So the opposite of timesing by 5 would be to divide by 5. We divide both sides by 5 here. Remember, we do the same here for the inequality. Okay, so we're just treating this almost like an equation. We now just divide by 5. Do the same here on the right hand side, divide by 5. So for the equation, we'd simply get left with x. And then on the right hand side here, 20 divided by 5, that would give us 4. Okay. And in that case, then we get x is equal to 4. And that would be the question done. Okay. So just replicating this here now for the inequality. 5x divided by 5, again, that would just leave me with x. And then on the right hand side here, 20 divided by 5, that would give us 4. And notice now our symbol doesn't change, so x is less than 4. Okay. And there we have it. That would be our solution. So like you can see, we use the exact same method as we did here for solving equations as we do for solving inequalities. Okay. So that's our introduction there to solving inequalities. So what we're going to do now is just take a look at a quick practice question for solving inequalities. So if we just take a look now at this practice question here for solving inequalities. So if we begin with part A then, we just want to solve 4y plus 1 is greater than or equal to 9. So what we're going to do here is treat this almost like an equation. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is subtract 1 off both sides. The reason that we're doing this here is because we want to get rid of this plus 1 on the left hand side. That would leave us with 4y. We get 4y here on the left hand side. And then on the right hand side here we get 9 minus 1. And that would give us 8 there. Okay. So again, we just want y on its own here. So because we're timesing y by 4 here, remember we always do the opposite. So what's the opposite of timesing by 4? Well, that would be to divide by 4. Okay. So now we divide both sides here by 4. So 4y divided by 4, that would simply give me y. And then this will be greater than or equal to 8 divided by 4, which would give us 2 there. Okay. So there we have it. So that's the solution to A. Hopefully nice and straightforward. Moving on to B now. I've got 2a minus 5 is less than or equal to 23. Okay. So again, just treating this almost like an equation. The first thing that I'm going to do here is add 5 to both sides. So add 5 to both sides then. So again here on the left hand side, that would get rid of this minus 5. That would simply leave me with 2a. Get 2a there. This will be less than or equal to 23 plus 5, which would give us 28 there. So again, we just want a on its own here. So because we're timesing a by 2 here, what's the opposite of timesing by 2? Well, that would be to divide by 2. We divide by 2 here on both sides. Then 2a divided by 2, that would simply give me a. As we're less than or equal to 28 divided by 2, which would give us 14 there. Okay, so that's the solution to B. I'm running out of room a little bit here, so what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to clear the screen. Do take a note here if you don't already have the solution to A and B. So now if we just take a look at C here, I've got 6 bracket f minus 3 is strictly greater than 30. So 6 bracket f minus 3 is greater than 30. So with a bracket like this, the first thing that we do here is expand that bracket. So we're just going to get rid of the bracket here. So to do that, we take the term on the outside, we times it by each term inside the bracket. We'll do 6 times f here, that'll give me 6f. Then we do 6 times minus 3, and that will give me minus 18. And this is greater than 30. And then from here, this is just like part A and part B then. So we want to get rid of this minus 18 here, and to do that we add 18 to both sides. So add 18 to both sides here. In that case I'm going to get 6f here on the left hand side. And this will be greater than 30 plus 18 here, which would give us 48. And then finally we just want f here. Well, we're timesing f by 6, so the opposite of timesing by 6 is to divide by 6. So divide both sides by 6 then. On the left hand side we're simply going to get f. And on the right hand side here we've got 48 divided by 6, which would give us 8 there. So f is greater than 8. Okay. And there we have it. So that's the solution to C. And that gives us the solution to that question overall, and brings us to the end of this video on solving inequalities. In the next video, we're going to take a look at exam revision for inequalities.